Yo, what is going on, my dudes? Welcome to another RuneScape news coverage video. So we're going to go and follow up and do more coverage of the live stream the other day, and we're going to be talking about some deep sea fishing. So without any further ado, let's just jump right into the video. Let's go! Alright guys, so like I said, we're going to be talking about deep sea fishing. Now before we get started, Mod Ryan did say on the stream that this is pretty much complete and ready for release. So that leads me to believe we can expect this to come out more than likely in March. So it's just right around the corner. We only got one more update left for February, and then we're rolling into March in no time. So we're going to get this update rather shortly. So in order to access the deep sea fishing area, you're gonna need to talk to Guma, who is a fisherman that was originally in Catherby and now located in the Fishing's Guild. So that means in order to have access to deep sea fishing, you need access to the Fishing Guild. Locking the content behind level 68 fishing. Now you can boost your level to get into the Fishing Guild as low as I think 63. So if that is the case and you're allowed in here, then that means potentially you can have access to deep sea fishing as low as 63 fishing, but I don't know if that means that traveling to the deep sea fishing area has a strict level 68 lock, or there's no lock at all once you're in the Fishing Guild. We're gonna have to wait and see. But just know that you need to have access to the Fishing Guild to even have access to deep sea fishing. So as you can see here, this is the new deep sea fishing area. It is actually fully detailed and all the graphics are in. Last time we actually saw this, there was a lot of areas that were still placeholder and weren't actually modeled yet, but now as you see, this is what it's going to look like in the final build. It's fully complete. The only thing left that they need to do is, like, on the far reaches of the ocean, there's a couple of map squares that aren't rendering properly or just have not been allocated to show open ocean. Those are going to have to, be inputted at some point. Anything else though is fully detailed and is akin to what we can expect when it launches. Moving on, over here is the area where you're going to be catching sailfish. This is the new highest tier fish in the game. It's going to require 97 fishing to catch and is actually going to heal you for 2.4k HP. However, it can be made into a soup, which will then heal you 2600 HP. So that's actually going to be the best food you can get your hands on at this point. So I can see a lot of people trying to get their hands on this. Is probably going to be pretty good money per hour if you're just trying to catch these fish and you want to sell them to like PVMers or anything like that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Level 97 sailfish. And moving on, over here we have the intensive fishing area. Now this is the one that's going to give you the best XP rates in the game. However, it requires that you be very attentive as the fishing spots are going to change very frequently and you need to keep changing overall. You'll notice in the top left that there is a score streak and a bonus. That means if you continue to click on these and build up your streak, you're going to build up an XP bonus modifier. The streak goes up to 200 and the bonus goes up to 20% more XP. So that means every 10 fishing spots you click on, your XP bonus is going to go up by 1%. If you happen to stop clicking on the fishing spots for several seconds, your streak will clear and you'll lose your XP bonus. That means if you want to gain your bonus back, you now have to work back from the bottom, but you also still got to be attentive. So this is going to reward people who are paying attention 100% of the time, trying to get those high bonuses, and ultimately, like I said, the best fishing XP in the game. Next up, they showcase one of the events. Now these are events that are going to be happening from time to time. They said there's several different events, or at least 5 different types of events that can just happen randomly throughout the area, that is going to encourage everybody, no matter where you are in the deep sea fishing hub, to come to this area and interact with it. Supposedly in some way they're going to be rewarding. Obviously there's several different events and they've only showed off this whirlpool one where, the whole world goes dark and you see this big whirlpool in the center of the hub. Now you can interact with this hub, but they didn't really show off what happens there. But you can also right click on it and you can toss coins into it. Now this is their way of kind of bringing back the Wishing Well titles. So basically, the exact same amount of cash you would get for those Wishing Well titles, you would have to dump into this whirlpool to get those same titles. So they're actually bringing back those if you're someone who happen to want those, but they were discontinued for so long and they never did bring back the well. Here is your chance to get access to those. If you've already deposited money in the well, it remembers that, so if you want to upgrade to a higher tier title, all you have to do is make the difference. You don't have to start from scratch. So the whirlpool essentially is going to work like one of the various different fishing locations in the hub. I don't know if it's random or if it's going to be a fixed one. For example, it could be sail fishing at the time, or next time you come across it, it could be the intensive fishing. So it acts basically as one of those at an increased rate. I don't know exactly how that's going to work. That's pretty much the extent of my knowledge as to what it's going to be. But yeah, I guess we're going to have to wait and see, to be honest. The next area I want to talk about is this small little fishing area over here by this little tiny dock. This is going to be basically the ZMI fishing style. So you come here and you start fishing at these bubbles. You could see the fish bubbles really just sporadically jumping around. And when you fish here, you're going to be catching a variety of types of fish. Based on your fishing level, you're going to be more likely to catch higher fish if you're a higher level, and then more mid-range fish if you're mid-level. However, you can catch fish higher than your level at this spot, as it works very similar to the ZMI altar for rune crafting. So you don't really get to choose what you catch here. It says you come here and catch, and you can get pretty much anything. Pretty useful for lower levels who want to get higher tier fish but don't have access to them because they don't have the levels. So it's an interesting method and overall interesting way to train your fishing. That being said, guys, I got one final thing to show you, and that is these new types of Uncharted treasure maps. You can see there are green maps in the player inventory, and the unique thing about these is when you use them and travel to an Uncharted Isle, you'll be taken to special Uncharted Isles. These isles have a chance of spawning 6 resources. It's not a guarantee, so it doesn't mean you're necessarily gonna get 6 resources, but if you happen to come across one that does have 6 resources, that's the kind of place you might want to put a flag to claim that island. Obviously, depending on which resources you're after and which ones the island happens to have. So that's the unique new thing. You can get these simply by interacting with deep sea fishing. And yeah, you'll be able to hopefully snag yourself a nice Uncharted Isle that's got 6 resources that you want. And that wraps up all the new content I got for the deep sea fishing update coming out what I believe to be in March. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed yet and you want to stay up to date on things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you guys watching. I am out. Peace.